Now, this is Scott Barnett's fourth video where we will actually invoice Rozencrants clients for the things that we recorded in the previous videos. So, we will include billable time and expenses on the invoices. Here's the example. Imagine on October 5th, we created an invoice for the same sample client we've been using all along for $4,000 worth of legal services, and we will include all billable time and expenses for that client. Well, how do you do it? It's very simple. First, you click over to Invoicing. Then you click New Invoice. You could always go to the plus sign, but it's the same thing. Now, the sample client is down here, SA, sample client. This is the one that I made because Scott had made one. I know I'm in the right client because when I choose the particular client, all of the billable time that I had previously recorded for this client and all of the billable expenses that I had previously recorded in previous videos for this client showing up here on the right. Now I have to make sure I put the correct invoice date, which in this case is the 5th. I have to make sure that the item is the legal fees, so I guess we'll do fees earned, and we'll put the amount of $4,000. Okay, and now we're going to, actually I don't think we would put the amount. I think that would come from the billable time. So if I click here and I click Add, okay, it'll say whatever the description is, and it says the sample client, and then you can see the amount. That was 1,000. If I click Add, it disappears from the panel on the right because now it is in an invoice. And if I click Add for the billable expense, I think that was supplies. So all of the see, now it disappeared. All of the billable time has been added to the invoice, and it was already calculated, so I probably should not have put the total for the invoice in the PowerPoint because it really depends on what you put on the timesheets and what you put in the billable expenses. Now this invoice is ready to go. I could save and send, or I could save and close, or save and new. Now to check the results, you would open the client balance detail. Now let's look down here at the sample client. Now the strange thing is the client balance detail is showing only the net amount. It's not really showing the running balance the way the desktop version would. So what you have here is a $3,000 payment and that's why it's negative, but you see after this $3,000 payment, which was the amount open from that payment is only $200, and that's because at the moment we made the $2,800 invoice a moment ago, QuickBooks automatically applied that invoice that we made a moment ago to the payment that we made in the first video. So as soon as we made the invoice, QuickBooks said you had a $3,000 balance, negative, because you owed the client, but then you invoiced for $2,800 worth of services and goods. So the new balance of the client is now only $200, and it's negative $200 because you invoiced for work less than the amount that they paid. So the client's balance is negative $200. Now when we examine the payment further, the payment we made in the first video, I'm going to double click and open it up, and you can see QuickBooks automatically applied the invoice from October 5th that we just made a moment ago. As soon as we made it, QuickBooks applied it to this payment, making the this is the $2,800 invoice received against the $3,000 payment, and that's why the client balance detail said there's a remaining balance that you owe the client, theoretically, for $200 worth of services.